Well, good morning, folks. A great big howdy to everyone. And we're now into a new week compared to last week, and the weather is a little more tolerable, and we're enjoying that. You might recall last Friday, President Trump made a visit to Western North Carolina to tour the damage of the hurricanes and bad weather from the fall. And our Commissioner of Agriculture, Steve Troxler, applauded this visit. And here is an isolated comment from Commissioner of Agriculture, Steve Troxler. And he is, like I say, applauding the visit from President Trump. These are Commissioner Troxler's words. It was encouraging to see that Western North Carolina and disaster relief efforts were top of mind for President Trump and the First Lady, because the commitment of federal resources will be critical for recovery and rebuilding, said Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler. Our farmers are hurting along with many others across the country, and the disasters in 2024 only added to the intense pressure they are under. Farmers urgently need Congress to pass a farm bill that includes meaningful disaster assistance. Seeing the disaster up close helps paint a better picture of the long road to recovery our mountains face and our mountain people, our farmers of that area face. I look forward to working with the Trump administration to help our farmers and residents. So the critical need has been acknowledged once more, and President Trump has visited and surveyed the damage as it stands now. So we'll see how all that works out, and we certainly hope for the best. Here in the South, we have famous recipes or famous dishes that many of us are introduced to as children, and we enjoy all our lives. And my point being that certain pairings seem to complement each other. Among them, for instance, biscuits and country ham. Here is an article from the State Magazine, and it gives reference to the A.B. Vanoy hams in West Jefferson, which is in the western part of the state. And they use a slow 8-month cure, which is part science, part Mother Nature. And they say this has been going on for 9 decades. The ham takes the salt, which is mixed with brown sugar and hand rubbed into the meat, once sliced and sandwiched between 2 flaky halves of a scratch-made buttermilk biscuit. And as the author of this article said, that's a cure for anything. And again, country ham and biscuits is hard to beat. North Carolinians can always find time to use or to implement or to embrace pork dishes. And this is true in baptisms, weddings, funerals, any kind of public get-together. A ham biscuit is always welcome and appropriate. Moving along, we check into and investigate chicken and dumplings. The sign in the front door of the Dipper restaurant in Asheboro will tell you this classic comfort dish is a specialty. Line up at the counter on Mondays when thick, savory broth and juicy chunks of chicken enhance the puffy biscuit that pillow the dumplings at a decidedly southern take on a hearty chicken soup. So here in the South, we have a thicker version of what could be chicken soup in another part of the country, or even I've heard it called chicken stew, but we call it chicken and dumplings. Or even more specific, chicken and pastry. In eastern North Carolina, chicken and pastry, or more funnily, chicken pastry, is a different take on dough. For this dish, rather than dropping dollops of dough, cooks roll out the flour mixture into thin, wide strips, which are then sliced into diamonds or rectangles. mixed with tender shredded chicken. The starchy stew can be found on menus at mainstays like King Chicken Drive-In in Washington and Ruth's Kitchen in Wilmington, and that is the chicken pastry. So perhaps the main difference between chicken and pastry and chicken and dumplings is the presence of the pastry and how it is prepared. But nevertheless, it is ever so appealing and so well received for those of us who have grown up to enjoy it and to love it. Also, we move along, and in a lot of areas, not only the South, a dish called collards and black-eyed peas, two ingredients that are used every year and very appropriate on New Year's Day. And why is this? Representing money and luck when eaten on New Year's Day, the year-round Southern pairing of collards and black-eyed peas likely to be on any meat and menu brings out the mild and earthy flavors of both. Prosperity may not be guaranteed, but when seasoned with thick-cut bacon, onion, vinegar, or garlic, they make it easy to eat your vegetables. So the collards and black-eyed peas are ever so popular on New Year's Day, of course, but year-round as well. I had one more in here that had to do with barbecue, and if I can just find it. Here we go. Ever so popular in this area, in this community, is the pairing of barbecue and slaw. You can eat the barbecue and slaw by itself, or you can put it in a sandwich or put it in a bun. We argue as to what style of barbecue is best. In the western part of the state, once more, there's what's called Eastern or Lexington style. Then here in the East, we have I'm sorry, the Lexington style is in the West, and then here in the East is the Eastern style. And so the Lexington style is ever so popular, depending on the community. And no matter where allegiances lie, we can all agree that the rich smokiness of barbecue is best balanced by cold slaw. Lexington style requires its red version made from a tangy blend of cabbage, vinegar, ketchup, and spices. White slaw traditionally tops Eastern style barbecue sandwiches, adding a creamy mayonnaise-based crunch. Whichever you choose, one thing's certain, you're going to need extra napkins. So the Lexington style includes red slaw top sandwiches, and this is featured in the Barbecue Center, the oldest barbecue establishment in downtown Lexington that still cooks over pits. So we refer to the Western style barbecue as Lexington style, and that's where the style originated, in Lexington and in and around that community. Here in the East, we have the Eastern style, and one popular venue for it is the White Swan Barbecue in Smithfield. But not to say that likewise, this wonderful treat, this delectable dish is also available in style and presentation by Parker's Barbecue in Wilson, Gardner's Barbecue here in Rocky Mount, and that's just a sample of some of the places this can be obtained and enjoyed. Back to White Swan Barbecue, this concern or this entity has been serving customers since 1930. Its white coleslaw complements the pork shoulder and butts traditionally used for Eastern-style barbecue. And that's another point of contention or point of discussion. A lot of barbecue that we enjoy is made from the Boston butt section of the pig or the pork shoulders, and is not necessarily whole hog barbecue. Either way, it's very great, it's very delicious. So that's just a little bit of a overview of some of our dishes that we cherish and enjoy and look forward to. In many cases, we'll even say niches, but nevertheless, something that is applicable to this area and to this community and specifically to this state. I'd like to move on to some government regulations that are pending, and I stress this, that they are pending and the outcome is yet to be seen. But during the Biden administration, there was talk and concern that nicotine levels in tobacco products could be reduced. And on one hand, the health advocates would applaud this, perhaps, but on the other hand, in eastern North Carolina, it would be devastating because it would cut down on the amount of tobacco that would be raised and grown, and it would particularly impact several of our 5 counties that raise the majority of the tobacco in this state. And of course, North Carolina raises far more tobacco in acres and pounds than the other states. The counties that I'm talking about include Wilson and Greene County, Harnett County, of course, Nash and Edgecombe County. So there is still talk and concern about capping nicotine levels, and this remains to be seen. There was a threat that this compliance, for lack of a better word, would happen before President Biden left office. It did not happen, so perhaps this threat can be delayed on into the future, and we'll see. This is all the time I have today, folks. Thank you for allowing me to come in and be with you. I look forward to being with you next week. Have a good week, and God bless you.